Welcome back to part two, where I'm going to go over some of my questions, and maybe it will spark questions that you had, especially over this hour, that you studied, that you took that time to really think about your life, to think about yourself. So yesterday was a little more serious, because that's just how I felt about the message and how I felt that it needed, because it is serious. Your life is extremely significant, go figure. You are extremely important. And it doesn't matter what anyone else has told you, because that's true. And like I put on the thumbnail, you are worth it. And it is one of the most significant, impactful things that you will do for yourself this year. And this might sound like dramatic or just like overstated. But again, the reason that I was so serious yesterday is because it's not overstated. It is, I wholeheartedly believe, and I feel like that just doesn't do it justice, how important I feel like this is, how important I know that this is. This being taking time to think about your life and taking those questions or those thoughts to General Conference, which I will talk about right now. So I mentioned General Conference yesterday. So if you haven't heard of it, it's a broadcast put out by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's men and women who have been called by the prophet, President Russell M. Nelson, who's the president of the church, to positions of what they call general authority, because it's all of the different programs of the church. So there's the Relief Society, which is a women's society that was built up about 200 years ago, whose job is to love and take care of people, to show the love of God, particularly through service, to really pay attention to people and what they need, and to do their best to help fulfill those needs. So those kind of programs, but they're the general authorities and officers of the church are like the heads of. So in each ward or congregation, there's a local head of the Relief Society, for example, and then there's a more regional head of the Relief Society for the region, or what's called a stake. And then it just kind of goes out and goes out and goes out. And so these general officers of the church, so each office is a president and a counselor, first counselor, second counselor, secretary. So these groups help to create a situation in their for those under them that best serves everyone. Everyone. And so what you'll hear in General Conference are those kind of top presidencies, as well as, so if you've heard in the Bible, there's you probably know Peter, James, John, 12 apostles, right? So the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we believe that just like God did in old times, because he's the same yesterday, today, and forever, he is doing the same, and he has prophets and apostles, which is especially so grateful, because you can see the world today. It's sad, it's kind of laughable, at this point. Um, so thank goodness that there's a prophet trying to, tell the world at least a little bit of which way to go. There's so much information, there's so much misinformation, there's so many hardships, so much, yeah, you guys get it. Anyway, so these are the people you're going to hear from. Who are they? In a little more context, just a little bit is, they're just regular people who decided to accept this calling. The president of the church right now was a prolific heart surgeon. And he helped develop some techniques and things that just weren't even a thing while he was working as a surgeon. He doesn't now. He is the prophet. He's the president of the church. You'll find there's a brother who is German, and you'll probably hear in every talk. That's what we just call them, talks. They give talks, but like a sermon or whatever that he gives, he almost always puts in something about him being a fighter pilot or something about planes or something like that, because that's what he was. And as well as some of his family experience about living in Germany and the surrounding areas during war. So they're just normal people who have grown and have dedicated themselves to just be better and better, just like we're trying to do on this channel. Splendaciously Me is about being our most splendacious selves, but that's just kind of a cutesy way to say that we're just trying to be our best. We're trying to be our own best self. We're not trying to be someone else. We're not trying to be someone else's best self, because we will never do that. Literally, we can't. We're just trying to be our best self. And so these people who have dedicated themselves to trying to be their best person is an incredible influence to have, especially for the goal that we have on this channel. And as someone who has attended or watched these conferences over video as well for the last, maybe since I was 8. Yeah, so the only time I attended in person was when I was 8, but I have been watching it every year since then. And I watch all the sessions. When I was younger, it was obviously really, really hard to get through. It was only 4 sessions then, 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. Now there is the 3rd session on Saturday has in the past changed from previously being a priesthood or men's session to switching between men and women to now it's another general session. It is for everybody. All these sessions are for everybody. You can watch the other ones. I can go watch the priesthood sessions if I wanted to. And some people do. But anyway, so I have been watching these, and I'm 29. I'm basically 30. And so that's 20 years of watching this broadcast, which is really weird to say. But I say this because I have 20 years of experience of watching these broadcasts. And I can promise you, I can tell you with a surety that the people who speak in these broadcasts are worth listening to. If you picked one thing, again, what I said in the previous video, if you picked one thing to impact the rest of your life, but especially right now, this conference is what you want to do, what you need to do. If you want a positive change in your life, if you need a positive change in your life, which I know a lot of us do, then you go to this conference. You watch the conference. Put it in the background while you do other stuff. I know it's the weekend. I'm sure there are lots of other things. I know there are lots of other things to do, and I'm sure there are other things that you want to do. But listen. Just listen to the conference. Put it in the background. Or if you have time, play games on your phone while it's on your TV or whatever. So, where can you find General Conference? Because I mentioned it just a little bit yesterday. General Conference, I actually always watch it on YouTube. I love YouTube, which is why I'm here now, because I love YouTube. I think there are great creators on here, and I just want to be a part of it. The Church of Jesus Christ.org, honestly, if you just look up General Conference 2025, you'll find it. Because, everyone's promoting it because it's so important. Again, this is for you. This is for everyone. Again, those doubts, those nagging feelings that say, that's not for me, or, oh, this doesn't apply, or, oh, that religious crap. There are people who are not religious who watch it, who just accept that these are good people with good messages. People who are religious, of lots of different faiths, leaders of different faiths, leaders of countries who, again, don't necessarily believe even in Jesus Christ, are watching these because they find value in them for themselves, for their people, for their congregations. You will find something. So let's talk a little bit about what I had you prepare. That's my little space guy. My clicker. So I had you take 1 hour. 1 hour to really think over your life. To consider what's going well, what's not. To consider goals and achievements you've made, or losses and hardships that you've gone through or are going through. And to come up with at least one question to bring with you to General Conference and listen for an answer. Now, I would love to talk about your questions even after General Conference passes. Okay, wait a second. I didn't say when General Conference was. That's a little bit important. So General Conference, sorry I'm saying that so much. One of my friends or roommates in college was actually like, Gen Con, so maybe I'll just call it Gen Con. It is tomorrow, this Saturday, what is the date? April 5th and Sunday, April 6th. Now you have to check the time when it starts for where you are. For me, I'm in the Midwest, I'm in Missouri, and it starts at 11. And it is a live broadcast. But don't worry, you can rewind. I tend to like, I like watching it with other people. And I like doing snacks. We do it like Super Bowl. So we just like get snacks and we hang out and we watch it and we'll take notes or something, but it's really fun. But sometimes I like to watch it by myself because I can pause it when I really want to write something down. And so you are so welcome to pause your video. You can rewind. It's live, but again, you've probably handled a video where you can go back and forth. So don't worry about that. And if you feel like you missed something or you want to watch it again later, just like a moment, then they have, each person that speaks, they have the name at the bottom. And so just write down that name. And then after General Conference is over, even though it's a live broadcast, they start splitting up the broadcast into those individual talks and stuff. And so they'll put it on their website so you can go back and look at it whenever. They'll also have it in written form so you can listen. You can already listen because they'll have the videos, whatever. But you can read it. Sometimes it really helps for me to read it, especially after conference is over. So anyway, don't worry about that. Tomorrow and Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, April 5th and 6th is General Conference. There's a morning session and an afternoon session for both Saturday and Sunday. And there's an evening session that I was talking about earlier on Saturday. So Saturday has 3 sessions, Sunday has 2 sessions. It's a lot. Again, I've attended for 20 years. I know it's a lot. Do what you can, do what you need. But again, I know that if you listen, if you take that time to genuinely be like, all right, she said to just come. And especially if you've taken that time to think about your life and think about what you want or what you need moving forward. Even if you don't know what you want or what you need, attend General Conference and you will get something out of it. Again, whether you do get something out of it or you feel like you didn't get something out of it, come back and tell me about it. Because everyone's experience is valid. I just want you to take it seriously. You don't have to do it again. You don't have to do it all the time. You don't. Just try it just this once. Okay, so I said that I'd talk about my questions a little bit. So I said that I had kind of come up with 5 questions, and apparently I came up with more than that. Some of them are lighter questions. They don't really matter as much. They're just like, okay, but how, or but why? Or yeah, they're just not significant questions. They don't need to be answered. But they just kind of came to mind. Yeah, so what's one that I want to share? Sorry, I should have prepared this earlier. Okay, so one thing I want to say is that is what? I just totally lost my train of thought. Is that the things that are important to us are important to God. And again, I'm going to keep saying religious things because it is part of my religion and I am very religious, blah, blah, blah. But when I say these things, know that you can still have a very similar experience without being the same depth of religion or even religious at all. As long as you take this seriously, be sincere in your desire to get an answer. And really listen, not just be like, okay, well, I want this and I'm just gonna, put that over there, but I'm gonna go into a different room and do something else. That's not gonna help you. Anyway, the things that are important to us are important to God. And so, part of me feels silly. One of my questions, I lost it now, is, so I'm restarting on YouTube. You'll see stuff from a year ago, and I just have had a really hard year. The hard stuff really never stops, but it ebbs and flows, and right now it's a little easier again, so I really want to get on track to, to put out videos while I'm feeling good and set that standard for myself. Anyway, that's not important to everyone. It's not important to my salvation. It's not going to save me to, to make these videos. But I know that for me, making these videos is a good thing for a number of reasons. But one of my questions is, there are so many people who will be seeing my videos eventually. And I'm thankful that you are one of them. So thank you for being here. But there are so many people who will see my videos, and each person is unique. How do I serve them all? And so that's one question that I'm bringing to conference, and I know partial answers, right? I have an idea and thoughts that come to mind, but I'm including God in the process, and I know that he knows better than me. And so I'm just looking for a little more clarity, I think. Because one, I know I can't serve everyone, especially at the same time. Unless I have a very specific thing that people are coming for, and each person wants that thing. You know, like you were selling something. If I had a shirt that people wanted, I have that thing, and everyone who comes here gets that thing, I know that I can serve people as long as I have more shirts. But that's not how it works. And staying on the shirt example, everyone's needs are different sizes. People, want or need different colors, different fabrics, different, whatever. And I want to include everyone. So that might mean different designs, different styles of shirt, different, whatever. And so it's that. It's not just, how can I provide content for you? Because I could talk for hours, unfortunately, for you guys. But that's not necessarily the content that I want to give you. I want to help you guys. Again, Splendaciously Me is about each of us becoming our most splendacious selves, right? But everyone needs something different. So how do I cater to that? How do I know what you guys want? Because I know not everyone's willing to say, this is what I want to see. This is how I'm feeling right now. This is what I need. I would really appreciate if you did this. And that's okay. I would love if you guys told me those things. But it's okay that you don't. But I still need to know. I still need to figure out how to best work with you guys. How to best know you guys. So if things, by the way, if things are coming to mind for you or for me, okay, this is what I mean. If they're coming to your mind for you, write them down. If they're coming to your mind in ways that I can help you as you're starting to get to know my personality a little better, please tell me. I want to hear from you. Okay. So, another question. What is my main purpose or main focus with my channel? So I have this channel, Splendaciously Me, and then I have Splendaciously Holy, which at this point, you're probably not surprised I have a religious channel. And I also have in the works for the Splendacious series a music channel because I am a singer. I got my degree in vocal performance, and I'm just afraid of you guys, so I just gotta get over that. I can, if someone asked me to perform live right now, I could do that. But preparing something to put on the internet just feels so permanent and forever, and I don't know. You guys scare me. But I love you. I love you guys. So don't be so scary. See if there's another one that I want to share. Um, this is another one that um, here. This is the last question I'll share, and then um, since I hadn't gotten any comments because I put the video out like at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is not helpful to you guys. But anyway, so I didn't get any comments, so we might just skip that part. That was my bad. I'm sorry. Anyway, we'll talk about this question, then we'll move on. As I begin this new phase of life, because I have a lot of health conditions, things that I was born with, and they make life really hard in different ways. And there are a lot of things that I can't do, or that I'm really limited in doing. And like I said, I'm basically 30, and I really want to have the ability to live on my own. Like I said, it's been a hard year. Lots of things have happened. And so, like the question says, as I begin this new phase of life, there are lots of changes right now. Good and bad, purposeful, and just because other people made decisions. I'll leave it at that. Government. Yeah, that's a big one. Anyway, what strengths do I have that I can rely on? Because I have all these health conditions, it's really hard to sometimes feel like I can do anything. To be reliable, to feel like I have strengths in the first place, and it's not ideal. So, what strengths do I have? What strengths do I rely on? What strengths are important right now? Because I'm super creative, and like I said, I'm pretty good at singing. But is singing gonna help me into this next phase of life? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. But just, I don't know. I have a lot of questions and fears. And a little bit of hope about what comes next. And like I said, this is, prophets and apostles and other general authorities of the church. And I'm so grateful to have a prophet in times like this. I'm so grateful that these good people exist and are willing to serve other people, and are willing to share their experience, share their wisdom, and that they care about us. It's hard to love myself, so it's really hard for me to understand how much they care about the people that they serve and the people that they're writing these messages for. But I know that they do. I can feel it. I can see it. I can hear it when I listen to them. So, I guess that's kind of what I'm going to leave with. You will feel and see and hear those same things. You can't help but experience tangibly how good they are, how hard that they've tried in their own lives, how strong they've become through their own hardships, and how kind and willing they are to share with us. You will find something. just for you. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Happy general conferencing during any of the sessions at any time, especially in the next few days, but even after that, when you continue to think about the things that you heard, if you got an answer to your questions, if you got a start or a path to answer your questions, I would love to hear about your experience. Absolutely. And if you're willing, it's okay if you're not. I completely understand. But if you are willing, there are an incredible amount of people who would really just love to hear normal progress from a normal person like you, like me, which is kind of why I'm here. And hopefully at some point I can help by sharing my own experiences. If you have any questions for me, I'm always willing to answer them. And if you have, if you have experiences that you want to share, please do. I know it's a little scary, but your story is worth listening to. All right, General Conference tomorrow, April 5th, 2025, Sunday, April 6th, 2025. Just look up General Conference and you will find it. Yeah, let me know how you watched, because I'm really curious if you're gonna like go to the website. There's like BYU TV and then KSL. I'm not, whatever. Just go to YouTube or just look it up online. And tell me what snacks you had. Because like I said, my family always does like Super Bowl for General Conference. So I'm always interested in the snacks that people prepare for themselves. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to post a little video talking a little bit about conference and maybe some of the things that I've heard. And yeah, I'm going to post a little video tomorrow. It might be in shorts. But just to tell you a little bit about my own experience, maybe I'll share a quote of someone that I thought was particularly profound for everyone. And I will see you tomorrow. Also, I'm sorry about the audio quality. I kind of forgot to use my mic. Literally had them right here. I'm sorry. You might hear some twittering birds and some barking dogs. Sorry. Alright, yeah, that's all.